This one thing could be killing you from compressing that golf ball, and if you're wanting to lower your scores this year, hit the ball further, hit the ball straighter and hit more greens, then we need to make sure that we are compressing the golf ball with your irons. So today in this video on Get Good at Golf, that's exactly what we're going to do. And guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button if you want to do just that and get good at golf. So how many times do I see people out on the golf course and we start to see that your clubs go all the same distance? So you might have your 9-iron, then you might go to your 7-iron, and you start to feel that they don't go much different. And we often see this kind of thing right here. A nice clean strike, and you might be in balance, you've partially turned through, but my hips and chest are pointing over to the right hand side there. They're not turned through, my weight's not transferred, and I'm not getting a nice divot. So from there you then go, okay, I've hit that 135 yards, that's fantastic for my 8-iron. I now go up to my 6-iron, and I come in here, grab my 6-iron, and we start to see that this club doesn't go much further. Yes, it might run out a little bit more, so you might go, well, it does go technically 140, but it's not much difference. And I'm still in that same position. Or even I get that shot right there, the heavy shot, because again, I've not turned, I've tried to get it to go a little bit further, and I've released that club. So you can see there that my golf ball was situated here, and I've entered the ground around about 6 inches before. And it might look a perfect divot, but if it's 6 inches before, the golf ball is going to go exactly where it did. So how do we change that, and what do we need to do for you to be able to compress the ball? Well, we need to think about where your low point is and what our weight is doing. So I'm going to go back down to my 8-iron. So if you're practicing this, I want you to think, let's go down, let's go to it, maybe even start with a pitching wedge, because a pitching wedge, we still want to be hitting down into that golf ball. We want to be catching the ball first and then taking a divot. So we need to think about, what is my body doing? So am I trying to rotate and get through to this finish? The answer is, I'm hoping you're screaming behind there, is yes, because you don't see many tour players, you don't see many professionals in a finish position where their body and hips will be pointing to the right. They have not rotated through, so they've had to do one thing. They've had to try and get a little bit of hand-eye coordination. So often you'll start to see, if you don't rotate, we're going to come into this position here, and your 8-iron might come back with the exact same loft it has on there statically. But we're wanting to make sure that when we come into that golf ball, we're in this position here. My hips are rotated through and my hands are ahead of that golf ball. You'll see there that I'm now going to compress that, and I'm now dynamically returning less loft to that golf ball, so I'm going to get that golf ball to go further. And that's exactly what we want to do, because we want to see that there's at least 10 to 15 yards in between each club in your golf bag. We don't want to see that there is 5 yards difference, because then we start to have to add a lot more golf clubs into your golf bag, and that becomes expensive. Or the other option is you can start to go for lessons, it doesn't cost as much, and we can get this sorted just like here today. So the first thing I want you to think about is, let's set up, how have we set up to that golf ball? Have we got our feet turned in pretty square, or if anything, even a little bit inwards? Because what happens here is this very much limits how much rotation we can get with our hips, and then especially on the way through, it limits how much I can turn. So from here straight away, I can get my upper body turned through, but my hips aren't able to turn, so I'm not able to get into this position here. And if I do get into that position, you can see there that that club face is open, and we're potentially going to hit the dreaded shot. Nobody wants to see it, and I'm sure that James Robinson will send me a certain video of a certain person behind the camera hitting the shot we don't like to see. So what we want to do is make sure that when we set up to that golf ball, we're having our feet turned out a little bit. So a little bit turned out, more so with your lead foot. So if you're left-handed, it's going to be your right foot. But if you're right-handed, you can see that this left foot even is turned out more. This is now going to allow me to rotate my hips more and get into that position right there. You can see that my right knee's coming across. It allows my hips to open, and look at that club now. We have got some forward shaft lean on there. We are now going to compress that. So it's a simple thing just like that at setup that can help you rotate. And if we can do that, we're going to start to see a change in your impact down at the golf ball. You can see that nice and compressed. a good divot there, and you'll see right there, we caught the golf ball first. So in comparison to that other divot, you will see that my golf ball is there, and we enter the ground after. And you'll also see that it's working slightly left because the golf swing is going to be working on an arc. So after we've hit that golf ball, that is going to be working left to the left hand towards our target. So it's not going to be following down, because the myth is that people will start to see that your divot should be straight, or if anything, a little bit to the right. Well, if we've done that, you'll start to see that we'll start to be dragging that club through. And again, look at that club face. That club face is pointing to the right, and we're potentially going to hit it way out to the right, where you may be blocking your shots, or you might hit that shot we don't want to see. So once we've got the feet right, and you think, okay, well, I've got my feet right, but I'm still not getting through that golf shot, I'm still not getting into that balanced finish. Well, then from there, we need to think about, right, what is happening with your weight shift? Are you potentially making a golf swing and we're already on the left-hand side here? Because if we're here, it's going to be very hard for you to get through that shot. So from there, we still might rotate nicely, but I'm falling back, and again, you might have that forward shaft lean, but look where you are now. You're way behind that golf ball, and we're not going to get the strike that we want. So I want you to think, right, I've got my feet right. Now let me check my backswing. Let me see what that position is doing at the top. So if you get into there, check your feet, get that left foot turned out even, and then from there, get to the top of your backswing, and let's see where your weight is. Is it easy for you to just pick that left foot up? Or if you are here, it'll be very hard and you'll not be able to get that off the ground. So straight away there, we're in a very difficult position for you to then turn through that shot. If we do turn through that shot, we're potentially going to catch it extremely heavy or get that path working a long way left. If I'm here at the top of my backswing, again, we're going to start to see that I'm going to have to try and manipulate it. And yes, my hips and chest are turned through, but where is my weight? My weight is very much still here on the back foot, and we're then going back towards hitting all our clubs the same distance. So you can put that into a drill. You can make some motions to the top of your backswing and really start to feel that you're loaded on this right hand side, and then from there make your swing, check your divot. There you can see I've got that a little bit thin there, but that's still towards my target. So even there, if your timing slightly goes, because it's going to feel a little bit different, we can still get some feedback. So bring that in, and we'll do that again. Make sure that our feet are correct. We're going to go to the top of your backswing, and we're just going to have that step there, and then bring it back down. Maybe do that a couple of times, just so you get that feel that, again, we're loading on that right-hand side, and from there I can then rotate and get into that impact. Once we've done that, let's put that into play. And you'll see there, compress straight towards my target, and you can see my chest and hips are pointing exactly where that golf ball has gone. And if we talk about the divots again, we can see that I've caught the ball first and then taken that divot. So two different divot patterns right there. So you need to think, get your setup right, get those feet turned out a little bit to help you rotate, and then from there you've got to make sure we're loading in that backswing so we can compress that golf ball and help you get good at golf.